Pisces, March 2019. I'm Dadhichi from astrology.com.au. Take a look at this powerful 11th house in your horoscope right now, which is indicative of friendships, ideals, aspirations, what it is you're striving for, what it is that you desire. And speaking of desire, the karmic point that I talked about in the introduction here in the 5th house of love affairs, creativity, children. It's just moved into this area recently, so this is where a lot of your karma over the next year or two is going to play out. And that against this backdrop of, being with friends, hanging out with the people that you identify with, your tribe, so to speak. Maybe you're moving away from that. Maybe you've found some comfort in that and you've got that sense of security, but you realize you need to be doing more on your own at this time. That's also shown by Mars here in the 3rd house of your horoscope. Sun in the sun sign right now with idealistic Neptune. So this is the backdrop, but let's have a look at some specific stuff here. On the 2nd, Venus, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, Venus and the moon move into your 12th house. So this precisely tells us you move away from this friendship area, maybe with a more pensive sort of view of what it is you want to do in this upcoming period. Straight after this too, we see there's a new moon in your sun sign. So this is very significant. This is a change in the way you see yourself, not just the way others see you. Although we see that the position of the sun and the moon here in your sun sign at this time of the year relate to how you project your personality to the world around you. This is also how you project what you want to yourself. This is an inward sort of combination of planets, especially when we look at Neptune, your ruling planet here, surrounded by the 2 luminaries and also Mercury, all of the personal planets here. Mercury goes retrograde at this time. So that often is referred to as a point obstructing things. But in a way, I see the retrograde Mercury for you in this period as, rather than the stream of thoughts going outwards, Pisces, they're coming back in. So you're tracing the source of your thoughts, analysing the way you think. Because that, of course, is very, very important. The way you think, the way you communicate to the world around you is going to strongly determine your karma and your destiny. Have a look at how that also plays out here, where the karmic North Node is receiving the positive triangular energy of Mercury in retrogression. Now that's going to play out for the whole of the month. It's going to move back here, as you can see. Let's watch it there, go back in degree 28, 27, 26. You see there that this is going to go backwards up until the 28th, and then it will go forwards. So the whole of the month here is focused on your creativity, your self-talk, understanding the mechanism of your own thinking and how that can be brought under control. It's especially important because it relates to the 7th house Virgo, 4th house Gemini. This is your personal relationships, your marriage, your domestic life, and your peace of mind. So all of this is playing out as an important precursor to gaining some self-awareness and maybe even some sort of self-realization. Let's continue this so we can see precisely the important transit there of, firstly, Uranus into your 3rd house of thinking. This is going to make you very forceful, very, very bold, because you've already got Mars in this area. So the way you are communicating has to be balanced by this inward pensive Mercury this month. You've also got Venus transiting the 12th house. So relationships may be put on hold. You may go into a meditative state simply to understand or ask these questions of, well, am I entering into negotiations in the proper way? Could my impact on other people be greater through an understanding of the mechanism of Mercury and its retrogression and how my thinking may be at fault here? The transit of the Sun into your second house brings more of a focus on the financial aspects of your life. Just go back there a little bit. There's a nice triangular aspect to the Moon in your career sector on the 26th, but the 27th, not so good. There we see the right angle between Neptune, Jupiter, and also Mercury. So although this does have to do with the inward pattern of your thinking, here we see that it may actually play out in terms of some frustration in your work, dealing with your employer, dealing with some agreements that you may have had that may be held up for whatever reason. So patience may be necessary as a result of this hard aspect from Mercury. The other aspect here is Venus moving into its exaltation on the 28th. Exceptional. This is a positive breakthrough, I think you'd call it, related to all of this inward sort of meditative posturing. The stationary forward movement of Mercury coincides precisely with the entry of Venus into its best sign, your sun sign. So here we see a real elevation in temperament, a confidence in yourself, and a real idealizing of love, really putting love on a pedestal here. Be careful of that, because the 11th house of friendship, still not experiencing the best sort of transits from these planets. Still, this gives you a positive spin and a confidence that can hold you in good stead moving forward in the coming months throughout 2019. Find out more about this at astrology.com.au, because we do have the text version of this, and I've also written up on what's happening over the next 10 or 12 months through 2019, and you'll want to know how these transits for March lead into the rest of the year and what's likely to happen at that time. So astrology.com.au, and it's a great time of the year if you're still early days to find out what's happening. If you'd like to consider a personal reading with me, drop me a line here. Until next month, take care. Bye-bye.